guy just because of his size and his length that like you can watch film, you can try to game plan, and but you really don't know until you go up against him.
Yep, he is. That's who he is. I was telling BJ that earlier today. He's like, it's my first time seeing him in person. I said, TV don't do him justice. You know what I mean?
So then, like, what does that do to the whole offense when, like, maybe guys are a little hesitant to drive? Just how do you try to counter that in the moment?
It's hard, you know. Sometimes you gotta just live with certain shots. Like I think Andre Drummond and Jabari and whoever was Barlow when he's in the paint and you're in that corner. Sometimes you gotta shoot some of them and just live with the result because you're gonna be open. You're not leaving the paint. You're not trying to really come out there. And then when you do draw them away from the paint, they are so much smaller because they can be small without him. That's what I was saying. Like he switched on me a few times. That's when I drove and got layups. My teammate drove and got layups because that's when the paint's wide open. So
obviously, we lost BJ at halftime.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see him at halftime or see him after the game?
Yeah, I went. Go ahead. Yeah, I went. So when I came out the game in the third quarter, I just went back there and I kind of just spent the rest of the third with him and just talked to him and just make sure he was okay. You know what I'm saying? And then I told him I'll be back. I'll call him tonight, check on him, and I wanted to go back out there full court support my teammates. So, but I definitely went back there and spent about however long that is, after the 5-minute mark.
Like I guess how were his maybe spirits or something about
Same. He's no one likes getting hurt, but he's same, smiling, happy. We had good conversation. That's my little bro. I'm gonna check on him. I couldn't continue the game without checking on him. You know what I'm saying? So.
How do you view tonight and the way everything went down?
Honestly, I view it as I can no longer think about it because we played in less than 24 hours. So it happened. You got to watch that one. I mean, it is what it is. We got to move forward. We can't dwell on it. If we dwell on it, Utah going to come in and beat us again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I got to let it go. Play Utah. Try to win that game. Then we got 2 days off. Then we can kind of look at it. But right now, we got to focus on the task at hand, man. We got guys out. Got time for guys to step up. It's the NBA.
Tyrese, have you been able to pinpoint a commonality in the big losses that you guys have had? It seems like the games kind of get away from the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Defensively, have you been able to see sort of what you guys have done? Because it's been 6 or 7 times already.
When we don't start fast, like defensively and aggressive and like the right way, that's when it happens. If you want to be honest with you, like. From play, it was like Orlando that did it to us once. Somebody else did it to us here. I can't really remember. Cleveland did it to us once. We don't start fast. We don't start fast. Like we start soft and we're not pressuring the ball. We're not getting to the ball, and like we giving up back cuts and stuff like that. When we start the games off like that, it's sometimes hard for us to like catch back up. You know what I'm saying? And we can't do that. We can't do that. Like especially like we're 6 or whatever we are right now. You for sure can't do that in the playoffs. You know, every possession matters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get that out of us. I mean, it happens. I think, you get popped about 5 times a year. You know what I'm saying? The NBA got 82-game season, but we don't need it to happen again.
Now, do you guys think you're more susceptible to it because arguably your 2 best defensive players aren't consistently available in Joel and Paul?
I don't think anything's acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just accept it. I talked about that all year, I feel like. We can't just accept it. If you want to do that, then we'll be back in the same position we was in last year. We fought our tails off to be good enough to be in a situation right now to where we could, still make a playoff push. And we can, get into the playoffs and without even being in the play-in. So it's like, we're not going to make it acceptable. It is definitely difficult. It's definitely a difficult task, especially when you're missing, guys. You know what I mean? It's hard. But sometimes you got to climb the mountain.
All right, so definitely feels like since the West Coast trip, the energy has been a little bit off, I guess. Have you noticed anything in terms of just the morality of the team? Or
maybe a little bit. We just won 3 straight games, though. So it's like, I ain't about to, just harp on it too bad. It was tough. We lost however many straight. Then we won 3 straight. Now we lost 2 straight. I mean, it's the NBA. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's hard. It definitely, trade deadline was difficult, and it's life. But we moved on from it, and that's something that we have to put in our rearview mirror. If we're going to sit there and dwell on the trade deadline now, I think that was 3-4 weeks ago, however long ago it was. that ain't gonna get us nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So.
Tyrese, a big part of your role defensively is deciding when to try to like take a gamble and go
Yeah.
for a steal and when to stay home. I guess can you talk me through like what you're looking for in those situations, and I guess just how do you feel you've handled that job?
Yeah, Nurse is giving me free range to be aggressive and get steals and like use my defensive playmaking. I'm not like trying to gamble. If I see an opportunity where I can get a steal or I can make a play, then I'm to make the play. Yeah, it's just trying to play solid, play defense, and I kind of know tendencies and know what guys do. I watch a lot of basketball, so that kind of helps me as well. He gave us free range to be aggressive and try to get steals and get out of transition.
We got time for two more.
Just to clarify, have you noticed teammates dwelling on trade deadline and losing Jared?
I don't think so. I don't think we're dwelling on it. I mean, Jared was a close friend of ours, great teammate, great person. So I definitely think we miss him, of course. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I say I don't miss Jared. But I'm happy for him. I watch him. OKC, make sure I hope he does well every single night that he plays, except when he plays us, of course. You know what I'm saying? But that is not this is a business at the end of the day. I've seen many people traded. I don't want to get traded, and whatever the case may be, people left in free agency. That you can't dwell on that. You know what I'm saying? You got to focus on the people that's in this building. These are the people that you're going to be with for the rest of the season. If they bring somebody else in, whatever the case may be, but these are the people that's going to be with you for the rest of this season and the rest of this stretch run. If you want to try to make a run at doing something special, then you got to focus on that, and that's what I think we're still focused on. I don't think anybody's trying to dwell on it or do different things like that. I think it's just tough, man. It got guys in and out lineups. That makes it even more difficult. But we're going to keep pushing. I'm going to be here every night. Like, as long as I can move around and try to play and do those different things, I'm going to fight through the adversity, and I'll be here and try to keep leading this group.
When you talk about
Last one.
picking up on guys' tendencies and stuff, what's it like, and what are the challenges trying to score on a guy like Castle, who's guarding you a lot tonight?
Yeah, he did a good job. I think they allowed him to be physical. It's even better when you can pick up and kind of like almost play behind the offensive player because you have a guy like Wemby in the paint. So it's like I would be extreme, just like the Joel. Like when we have Joel back there, especially in years past when he's like feeling really really good, he's blocking shots. You can get up and pressure. You can do a lot of different things because behind you got Joel. Behind them they got Wemby. And I think it took them a couple years to kind of learn that and kind of figure out how to like build a defensive system around it, and they have, and it makes them better. But they all do it. You know what I'm saying? All of them will pick up. Champagne picks up. De'Aaron going to pick up. Vassell, whoever's bringing the ball up, they're going to pick you up because they want you to. What they want you to do is try to go by them, and they know they got Wemby down there, so that's a good strategy.
Just talk about the way you guys took control early and stayed with it the entire game.
Yeah, it was nice.
What was the
No game is perfect, and Spot often says, we're never as good as we're looking to win. Never as bad as we're looking to lose, but it was very great response.
What was the key in terms of the first half with the scoring? You guys closed out a run in the first quarter, that one then just took over the second quarter. What was the key there?
The key in the scoring was making the early pass. I think early in the game we made it maybe a little bit harder on ourselves by having one or two too many dribbles while penetrating. And I think once we made the early pass, we got our shooters open. They were collapsing a lot, so it made the game easier.
What are you looking forward to most about going home?
Sleeping in my own bed, eating my chef's food, getting back into the normal routine, normal life, because that ain't normal. Even over there is not normal, but more normal.
At the end of a long trip like this, where do you think you guys found the energy to pull off a win like this?
I don't know. I was feeling so good before the game. I was feeling so confident about us. I don't know where it came from.
We heard your teammates are rolling the way they are. What do you feel like your role is? Is it to keep them going?
Yeah, for sure. My role is to keep making sure they keep having those advantages. So it means keep rolling, keep hitting on the screens until the opponents decide to do something about it, which they didn't. So please let them enjoy.
Victor, we heard you were a little disappointed in us for not asking about the Northern Lights yet.
Sorry?
Did you want to talk about the Northern Lights?
I wasn't disappointed, but if you ask me about Northern Lights, I've seen a couple very cool things, very cool things in my life. Northern Light is by far number one.
Where was that?
It was in Alaska. It was the best thing I've ever seen, the Northern Lights.
What was impressive about it?
What was impressive about it is just something that looks so out of place, you know. It's like it makes you understand all the legends and all the the folklores and the beliefs that people have had for thousands of years. You see things up there, you know. I mean, the show I had was I think a historic, like maybe a once in a lifetime event even for Northern Lights chasers, but as I said, it's the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. It ranks number one.
When you're in the last game of a road trip, I think the guys have that kind of consistency throughout the entire game and showed that kind of. What's to say about the team and the focus throughout that game that they showed about? What's to say about them?
Sorry, can you repeat?
The focus you guys showed throughout this game for last game of a road trip. What's to say about the team's ability to show that kind of focus throughout the entire game?
Shows progress for sure. Shows that we're on a mission.
You're going together for pushing awards this month. You know, what have you seen from him? What's it been like for you to watch him learn the game as he's gone?
Yeah, Major Toe was an award, but seeing Dylan develop his game, I mean, I have zero doubt that if there was a redraft today, we would take him. He's so good, so composed. I know, obviously, we're stacked at the guard position, but I'm so happy that Dylan's super young and can be there for years and years because I want to share a court with him for as long as possible.
You guys swept those awards. Is that pretty cool? Nobody in the Western Conference has ever done that before.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I didn't know until I got here, so it's amazing. Let's keep that going.
You've been posting to your story about a missing person case. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I just got found. It's like 1 hour ago. Something like that.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm so happy. You know, so we've been close for a long time. His family and mine, and we always think it happens to others. That was the first time I saw this case, you know, for a close person. So I'm very, very relieved.
What is your mindset as far as like trying to stay ready, trying to stay prepared for any matchup, even when you know that there are probably certain teams that you're more likely to face than others?
Yeah, you never know how the game's gonna go, so just still studying the film, being ready, thinking of ways you can impact, because you just sometimes it's random and there's a certain game plan at the beginning, but depending on how the game goes, sometimes you adjust. So just as a player, you gotta be ready to adjust with the game.
A lot of times players talk about how a strong finish to a game, even one that's out of reach like this one, can help give them momentum going into the next game, especially with this is the front end of a back-to-back. You have a game tomorrow. Do you feel like this is something that maybe you can carry into tomorrow against Utah?
Yeah, 100%. If it was up to me, I'd rather not sleep and just get back out there right now. So I'm just separate the days with 8 hours of rest and then just kind of think of it as a continuation. Obviously it's a different team, but the mindset doesn't change. Just kind of let the days blend together and carry this over to tomorrow.
What's the challenge, I guess, right now with kind of all the ailments kind of beginning to pile up? Obviously, you didn't have Joe tonight, you didn't have Kelly, you lose VJ at halftime. It's the challenge, I guess, a team to still try and keep going like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, tonight was a really good team, so I think some things get blown out of proportion, but you gotta understand these guys have been rolling for a while, and they're up there with the best of them right now. So we did have some mishaps that caused some extra challenges for us, but just staying together and not letting things get carried away and just staying focused, because right now we're in a good position and we just gotta separate even more.
How hard is it when you first come in the league to understand that even in a game like this, you're being evaluated at all times? So how hard is it to internalize that and just make sure that you do put your best foot forward?
Yeah, it's not the first thing that's on my mind, but it is one of the things that I think about. I think what's first is just showing the coach that you're playing for and showing the team that you could have impacted tonight, and just put the pressure on them and make them rethink things and think, okay, maybe he could have impacted in some ways. And if if the game plan is for me to be guarding bigger guys, then maybe switch it to a smaller guy and show I can guard smaller guys and work on that. So there's always things you can work on, but then, you know, there are 29 other teams and it is a business. So you'd be surprised to know who's watching and how many eyes you have on you. So just you know, play hard every rep and be yourself.
Where do you feel like you guys are as a team right now? You lost 6 out of 9, all by double figures. Where do you guys feel like you are now? It seems like things are kind of teetering.
I mean, what are we, 6th right now? We're in a playoff spot. So there's ups and downs of the season, and we're not fully healthy right now. So I think we're just exactly where we are. We played a couple good teams recently, and it's nothing to overthink about.
You guys have had some struggles rebounding the last couple games against good rebounding teams. What have you seen as terms of areas to improve? And is that one of those areas of, hey, maybe I can get in there and do some things and maybe help out?
Yeah, I think it's a team thing. We have great rebounders all around. It's just being conscious about it, hitting first. It's a mentality. So, you know, there's been games we got out rebounded when I was in there. So I'm not gonna be the savior every night. I got to adjust just like everybody else does. And the only thing I can do is apply what we're all studying, and that's gonna separate who plays that night and who really impacts. But we all can rebound.
In a game like that, if they take a lead like that, with the report, just how tough you guys have to try to stay in it and be mindful of it. How tough is it to kind of stay with it and keep fighting, even though you know you got a pretty uphill climb to come out of it, trying to get back in it? But just talk about that mentality and trying to stay in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of pressure, but at the end of the day, it's not really that much pressure when you're down by 40 and you go in there. You know, with 8 minutes left, it's highly unlikely for you to come back. So you change your mentality and just win the little games. You know, the last thing we preached was win the quarter, and I think we ended up losing that by 1. But that's a lot better than the previous quarters that we had. So you just separate the game into little victories and possession by possession.
Nick, I guess, did you get any update on BJ after the game?
No, not yet. Obviously, took a hard fall. They're gonna, whatever, check him out, and we'll get an update as soon as we can. But no update right now.
How much did Wembanyama, I guess, maybe deter guys from getting into the paint or maybe casting?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously had a factor, and I mean, it's hard to, the game was, pretty much out of hand at halftime, so it's hard to say. I thought obviously he blocked a couple shots inside. I thought, until the second quarter when we just kind of didn't do anything very well. That I thought we were doing a decent job of finding shots. I think it was taking a while, and I kept saying that in the timeouts. The open shots aren't coming as fast as they did the other night, but you just got to be a little bit more patient and continue to kick out. And I thought, for the most part, I mean, obviously he blocked a couple of the inside ones, from our bigs. But I thought other than that, we were doing a decent job there for a while. And then we just, we didn't make, they scored lots of transition. Just, really the second quarter defensively was really bad. Obviously they were really rolling, hitting tons of threes, getting to the rim. There just was no resistance defensively.
Nick, just bigger picture, when you look at San Antonio, not about tonight's game, but just the culture of that team and what they do, what stands out to you through the years with them?
Well, I mean, I think, obviously they've had a ton of success, right? So that helps. But, I mean, looking at them right now, they obviously got one, super special player, and then a lot of really good ones, right? A lot of athletes, they number of guys that can pick up full court and pressure. A lot of guys breaking through screens, the physicality that they bring on the defensive end. And then nice thing they have also is those same guys can all shoot threes, right? So they got a bunch of guys that can really defend and shoot, kind of playing around their big guy in the middle. Really good guards, good wings, and just kind of again keep bringing a whole bunch of really good players at you.
Nick, you used the phrase "no resistance."
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's a pretty damning phrase to come from a coach. Has that been a theme in some of the big losses, games that have gotten away from you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had what 4 of these probably now, where we just everything seems to go really poorly. I don't put too much stock in it. I mean, we played a really great defense just 2 nights ago, right? Just kind of one of those nights where energy was bad, ball wasn't going in, that hurt. Guys keep going out, all that stuff. Just kind of all piled into one. We got to get over it really quick because we got to play again tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we went here, no Joe, no PG, no Kelly, then it was VJ. I guess what's going to be the challenge right now, to kind of get everybody on the same page.
Yeah, gotta get them going quicker, right? Like right now, those guys got to step in, and we gotta, I think the first part you got to do is get a little bit of time out there. We don't have much time to prepare, right? With another game coming, but they've got to get in the flow of playing their role and doing a really good job playing, a little tougher, a little more hard nosed, all that kind of stuff immediately. Yeah.
To go back to Wemby, just because he's so unique, is it a situation where you can show as much film, you can work on specific things to try to counter him, but you really don't know until you're on the floor, or you see?
I would imagine so. I wasn't out there,
Right.
but I would imagine so. I think that you probably I think that anytime there's a big shot blocker, I think it's, if you look at it through statistical way, that there is less drives in a game. They'd be just for whatever reason, that sense of that being down there, there's less attempts at going. So when there's less attempts, you're going to have less, right? And there's probably a little bit of the case. And I agree with you. It probably takes a little bit to get used to figure out, what you're going to do to draw him out or stop sooner to shoot or whatever it is you're going to do, or just keep kicking it out and looking and using a little bit more of a shot clock. Yeah.